So you might want to take that into consideration when developing your explanation. I know about the fruit flies, I know about all the other, but they can't, they can develop them with 4 wings and various kinds of mutant qualities, and they can't reproduce and they can't fly. So all mutations are detrimental to the species, not beneficial for it. Furthermore, the millions of complex products of the male, each carrying the genetic code for the species, must have a mechanical, chemical, electrical compatibility with the eggs of the female. Not to mention the fact that each species must have the instinct to know what to do and have a desire to do it. Hand me some of those pictures there, Sadie. Let's just take look at some, well, we don't have to erase all of that. Let's just say, all right, you got a kind of parrot here. Each species, keep them coming. Each species has its mate. Male and female fox. This was the picture I was looking for when we were having our discussion of the eyes. Look at those compound eyes, I believe, of a dragonfly. Look at there. Male and female gorilla. There's another picture of a gorilla. Male and female whooping crane, I believe. Keep coming. Peacock. And there's a woman standing there as well. Look at that. See, I've got peacock feathers right here. I showed these a little bit earlier. Absolutely breathtaking in color. There's one. There's the whole creature right there. I wish I had one to hold right here. But these are just a part of the tail feathers of the peacock, beautifully arranged, and innumerable species of insects. And there's some of them there. Here's some lambs. There's a wood duck, male and female. By the way, look very different. Just like the peacock, looks very different than the female. All right? Look, here's a turkey, male and female. Now, I'm going to make a point about this in a minute, but I just want you to observe that there are millions of species here. Look at that beautiful tiger. Tiger has his mate. Every single creature that God created has his mate. Now, I'm not sure what kind of tropical frog that is, but there's meerkats. There's monkeys. Monkeys reproduce other monkeys, not men. There's a cheetah. Should put the tape toward the top there. There's a blue jay. That one's not going to work, is it? All right, on and on we could go. Here's a Luna moth. Luna moth has a male and a female. Hope you can see these. There's a quail, male and female. There's a part of a crab right there. Put him up there. Male and female of this species. There's a chickadee, male and female chickadee. Innumerable kinds of sea life. I won't put that one up there. There's a hummingbird on one side of this and the monarch butterfly on the other. Incidentally, monarch butterflies, unbelievable, unbelievable. Think about caterpillar. You got a caterpillar here, okay? Has a twig here, goes into a chrysalis form here, and then comes out one of these. Now, there is no slow sequential process of evolution that can explain this metamorphosis, because the code, you see, has to be in the caterpillar. It has to be in the caterpillar, well, in the egg before that, the larva. The code has to be in there. Did you know that when the caterpillar is in the chrysalis or the cocoon, that he completely emulsifies? He liquefies, basically. Nothing is left except the matter, except the material itself. Nothing is left of the caterpillar. It's completely composed into a butterfly. His eyes are different, his legs are different, his total body is different. That means that the code has to be in there from the beginning. It's a complex genetic code. Monarch butterflies reproduce other monarch butterflies, nothing else. Here's a swallowtail, zebra swallowtail, I believe. Here's a leopard, male and female. Well, I'm running out of room. Let me just show the rest of these, some of these. There's a northern flicker, woodpecker. Woodpeckers, another amazing thing. Do you know that the tongue of the woodpecker goes through his mouth and goes around his head, and his tongue actually connects back close to his beak from around his head? No other bird like that. How did that happen? There's no explanation for it from an evolutionary standpoint. There's a beautiful lion and another tropical frog of some kind there. Frogs, another thing. Start out a little egg, get to be a tadpole, grow limbs, and because the genetic information for that has to be there from the beginning. I believe that's another fox. And there's a toucan or something like that, tropical bird here. Let me get some of these. Here's a Dimetrodon, male and female. A Pachycephalosaurus, male and female. Triceratops, male and female. You want to tell me what this evolved from? What's the links between this and something else? There's nothing else like it. What about Protoceratops, male and female? Brachiosaurus, similar to a Apatosaurus, male and female. These things are complex and intricate from the beginning. Male and female. What's the point of this? We could go on like this for the next year. But what is the point of this exercise? Just this. All these distinct species on Earth have their mate. Plants, animals, and mankind. And there is no reasonable evolutionary sequence that can explain one of them, much less millions of them, and the sometimes bizarre distinctions that make them unique. How do you explain the light of a lightning bug, for example? How do you explain the sonar of a bat? How do you explain the web of a spider in terms of a slow evolutionary process? An electric eel that produces 600 volts of electricity. The bombardier beetle, which mixes an instant bomb by squeezing chemicals from special tanks into an activating chamber, resulting in an explosion of boiling irritants on any of its unfortunate enemy. We've not even mentioned the flight of birds. Do you know how evolutionary scientists explain the origin of birds? They believe that reptiles, like lizards, developed longer scales on their front legs, and they used them like a fly swatter to swat an insect out of the air. Now, I heard this repeated just recently on the 92nd Naturalist, which should be called the 92nd Indoctrination of Godless Evolution, but he described this very thing, that the evolutionary theory describes the flight of birds as here, I've got another illustration of this. Pardon me just a moment. Here's a lizard. This is typical of the books that you'll find anywhere in the library, wherever. You got a lizard. He's chasing a dragonfly here. This one isn't shown swatting one, but you can see that he's trying to grow longer scales on the edges of his front legs there, and then a little bit longer here, and a little bit longer here, and finally becomes a blue jay. Folks, this is a fairy tale. There is absolutely no evidence for this whatsoever.